Hello and welcome, Number Hunter 91 here, and we've had several things announced while I was at work this morning. First of which is the set list for Mystic Fighters, which gets released in 13 days at the recording of this video on the 22nd of November. I've obviously had to translate this into the English version just to make sure that I can actually read it. I'm going to go through. There's 3 new archetypes being released in this set, and there are quite a few reprints, some of which are pretty decent. So we're going to go through it, and I'm going to try and go through it quite slowly. I've zoomed in a little bit so that you can hopefully see. So starting off with the Mathmechs. So we have Mathmech Sigma, Mathmech Nabla, Mathmech Addition, Mathmech Subtraction, Mathmech Multiplication, Mathmech Division, Geomathmech Magma, Geomathmech Final Sigma, Primatech Laplicon, if I've pronounced that correctly, Mathmech Equation, Mathmech Million Blade, Nayuta, Mathmech Superfactual, Mathmech Induction for the Mathmechs, and then obviously on to the next archetype. So going to go through each archetype as I'm going down the list. So with the Mathmechs, their names kind of give away what they do. So Mathmech Sigma, if you control no monsters in the extra monster zone while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Cyburst monsters. You can only use this effect of Sigma once per turn. If this card you control is used as a synchro material for a Mathmech monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner monster. So they all have different effects. That's your special summoner. Mathmech Nabla, you can tribute 1 Cyburst monster, special summon 1 Mathmech monster from your deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Cyburst monster you control in the extra monster zone. It can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase this turn, and you can only use that effect once per turn, and that's a hard once per turn. Mathmech Addition allows you to target 1 face-up monster on the field. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Cyburst monsters. Also special summon this card from the hand. But it cannot attack this turn, and if you do, the targeted monster gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of Mathmech Addition once per turn. Mathmech Subtraction does the same, but it causes the monster to lose 1000 attack, and again it's a hard once per turn. Mathmech Multiplication, target 1 level 4 Cyburst monster you control. Its level becomes 8 until the end of this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Cyburst monster you control in the extra monster zone. Its attack becomes doubled until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Mathmech Multiplication once per turn. Mathmech Division does the opposite. It halves the attack of a face-up monster on the field. With this, you can also tribute 1 Cyburst monster you control in the extra monster zone to special summon up to 1 level 4 Cyburst monster each from your hand and graveyard. If this card is sent to the grave, that is when it targets and then halves the attack. The synchros are pretty decent, along with the XEs. So Magma is a level 8 synchro requiring 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Mathmech Spell or Trap card from deck to hand. You can only use each effect of Geomathmech once per turn. Final Sigma is the bigger synchro monster at level 12. Requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Unaffected by card effects except Mathmech cards while it is in the extra monster zone. If this card in the extra monster zone battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts your opponent is doubled. If this card is destroyed by battle or destroyed by an opponent's card effect while it's in its owner's possession, you can add 1 Mathmech card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Mathmech Final Sigma once per turn. The Xyz is obviously a rank 4, which goes nicely with the deck, requiring 3 level 4 monsters, so it's pretty generic. If a Mathmech card or cards you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can detach 1 material from this card instead. If this Xyz summoned... Let's restart that a little bit. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can detach up to 3 materials from it, then choose that many effects. You cannot choose the same effect twice, and you resolve them in the listed order, skipping any that were not chosen. So the 3 effects are: send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the grave, send 1 monster your opponent controls to the grave, send 1 spell or trap your opponent controls to the grave. So if you do detach 3, you're sending 3 cards to the grave, 1 from the hand, 1 from the monster they control, and 1 of their spell and trap cards. And apologies for that in the background. On to the spells and traps. We have Mathmech Equation, which targets 1 Mathmech monster in your graveyard and special summons it, and if you do, it gains 1000 attack until the end of the turn. You can only activate 1 equation per turn. Billion Blade is an equip spell, which can only be equipped to a Cyburst monster. If the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can send 1 Mathmech monster from your deck to the grave. The equipped monster gains attack equal to the sent monster's attack until the end of the turn, even if this card leaves the field. If this card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can target 1 Mathmech card in your graveyard except for itself and add it to your hand, and you can only use each effect of Billion Blade once per turn. With the traps, we have Super Factorial, and its effect reads as follows: target up to 3 Mathmech monsters in your graveyard with different names, then activate 1 of these effects. Special summon them, but their effects are negated, then immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon 1 Mathmech synchro monster using only those monsters, and shuffle the materials into the deck instead of sending them to the grave. Its secondary effect is to special summon them, but their effects are negated again. Then immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon 1 Mathmech Xyz monster using only those monsters. So that's a nice easy way of bringing out the Xyz or your level 12 synchro. Mathmech Induction is the last trap card being introduced with them in this set. It's a continuous trap. All Cyburst monsters you control gain 500 attack. If you control a Mathmech monster, you can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only use this effect of Mathmech Induction once per turn. So I've had a little bit of a tinker with Mathmechs on WIGO Pro because they're already on there, and they do work a lot better going second. However, they can be susceptible to the hand traps, but they like to pick away at boards and do the damage. So if you can counter the hand traps well enough with the cards that we're getting in this set, it is going to be one to watch out for. Onto the Dragon Maids, which have varying levels and attributes. So we have Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, and 1 Light. So we have Nurse Dragon Maid, which is a level 2 Earth. We have Dragon Maid Urnus, which is a level 7 Earth. Laundry Dragon Maid, level 2 Water. Dragon Maid Nidhogg, which is level 7. And these are all dragon effect monsters as well. Kitchen Dragon Maid Tinkhek, which is level 8. Kitchen Dragon Maid is level 3. Parlour Dragon Maid is a level 3 Wind. And Dragon Maid Larpor, or Lorpar, is a level 8 Wind. Their fusion is a level 9 Light, called House Dragon Maid. And then they have a few spells and traps. We have Hospitality, Welcome, Changeover for the spells. And we have Downtime for the trap card. I've not looked into the Dragon Maids too much at the moment. However, I've seen some builds with them. Nurse, if it is normal or special summoned, can target a level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster in the graveyard except for itself and special summon it. At the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 7 Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard. You can only use each effect of Nurse Dragon Maid once per turn. So I've just realised it makes me think of Maleficent being able to turn into the dragon. So your low levels turn into your high levels. Pretty good. So the level 7 Earth Dragon Maid Urnus cannot be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. You can only use each of the following effects of Dragon Maid Urnus once per turn. Its quick effect, you can discard this card, special summon one level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster from your hand. And second one, at the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 2 Dragon Maid monster from your hand. So you can see how they'll loop and keep going, basically, providing they're still on the field. Their attacks seem quite low, so I'm hoping that the spells and trap can help boost their attacks and defense. Laundry Dragon Maid. If it is normal or special summoned, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. At the start of the battle phase, return this card to your hand, and if you do, special summon one level 7 Dragon Maid monster from hand or graveyard. You can only use each effect of Laundry Dragon Maid once per turn. So again, has the special summon effect within it. The level 7 Water can't be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. And that's generic fusion monster as well. It doesn't have to be the Dragon Maid one, which I find quite interesting with these. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can discard this card, then target one monster in either graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 2 Dragon Maid monster from your hand. So the two level 7 Dragon Maids share the same final effect and same first effect, which isn't too bad. Kitchen Dragon Maid, which is the level 3 Fire. If it's normal or special summoned, you can add one Dragon Maid monster from your deck to the hand except for itself, then send one Dragon Maid monster from your hand to the graveyard. At the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 8 Dragon Maid monster from your hand or grave, and you can only use each effect of Kitchen once per turn. The level 8 Fire Dragon Maid cannot be destroyed by by card effects while you control a fusion monster. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Quick effect, you can discard this card, then target one Dragon Maid monster you control. It gains 2000 attack until the end of this turn. Quite nice. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 3 Dragon Maid monster from your hand. So the level 2s and 7s will bounce each other on and off the field, and the level 3s and 8s do the same. Parlour Dragon Maid is a wind level 3. If it is normal or special summoned, you can send one Dragon Maid card from your deck to the graveyard except for itself. At the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 8 Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard. So the little guys bring out the big guys and then switch back again. Level 8 Wind Dragon Maid, obviously has the same initial effect, cannot be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster, and its following effects are: you can discard this card, then target one face-up monster on the field. Players cannot activate that target's effect on the field this turn. That's actually quite interesting. So it's a walk-in effect veiler. Kind of. But it's not quick effect. Okay. At the end of the battle phase, return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 3 Dragon Maid monster from your hand. House Dragon Maid is the fusion. Requires one Dragon Maid monster and one Dragon monster. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can target one other Dragon Maid monster you control. Special summon one Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, whose level is one higher or lower than it. When another face-up dragon monster or monsters you control returns to your hand, except during the damage step, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Wow, that's actually a little bit more broken than I realised. Yeah, Dragon Maids are going to be another one to keep an eye on. Just with the monsters, I haven't even read the spells and trap yet. So, first spell, Hospitality, is a normal spell. Special summons one Dragon Maid monster from hand or graveyard in defense position, and then send one Dragon Maid monster with the same attribute but a different level from your deck to the graveyard. You can only activate one Hospitality per turn. Okay, so it's a monster reborn with a Foolish Burial. Okay. That's quite nice. So if your level 2 or 3 are in the grave, use Hospitality, summon that out, send the respective level 7 or 8 from deck to grave, and then you've got the bounce effects. Okay, kind of like that. Dragon Maid Welcome is a continuous spell card. All monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each Dragon Maid monster you control. If you control 2 or more Dragon Maid monsters, you can target one Dragon Maid card in your graveyard, except for itself, and add it to the hand. You can only use this effect of Dragon Maid Welcome once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, your opponent cannot target Dragon Maid monsters you control with card effects this turn. That's quite dirty. That is actually quite a decent card. Yeah, I might try it and pick myself up quite a few of these this set. I want the Math Mechs for definite, and I definitely want the Dragon Maids. Dragon Maid Changeover is the final spell, and again it's a normal one, and it is their fusion spell. So fusion summon one Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. While this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Dragon Maid monster you control, add this card to your hand, and if you do, return that monster to the hand. You can only use this effect of Dragon Maid Changeover once per turn. That's a generic Dragon Fusion monster summoner. So with that, if you have the materials for it, you could summon out Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, for instance. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a bit of a that is definitely an archetype to look into. On to the Gene Raiders, which are the third archetype to be released into this set. Should I say? We have Mardell, Gene Raider Boss of Light. These are all level 9 monsters, and there is one for every attribute. So Mardell is the light one. You can only control one Mardell Gene Raider Boss of Light. if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Gene Raider card or one plant monster from your deck to your hand except for itself. You can only use this effect once per turn. Frody is the wind. You can only control one Frody. Okay, fair enough. So they've all got that effect where you can only control one of each of the attributes. Okay. Rest of Frody's effect. Quick effect. You contribute any number of Gene Raider monsters and or warrior monsters, then target that many monsters on the field, destroy them. Then your opponent can draw cards equal to the number of monsters destroyed on their field. You can only use this effect of Frody once per turn. Okay, I like it, but I don't like it. That one with that effect. If you know you've got game, then I'd say yeah, go for it. And if you can continue, obviously rebuilding your the boards. Other than that, I don't like it. Duvelgus, or Duvelgus, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is the Earth Gene Raider. You can only control one, and the rest of its effect is a quick effect. You contribute any number of Gene Raider monsters and or machine monsters, special summon them from your hand. In defense position. Alright, let's reread this because that makes machiners beautiful. So you contribute any number of Gene Raider monsters and or machine monsters, special summon from your hand in defense position exactly that many Gene Raider monsters and or machine monsters, all with different names from each other and from the tributed monsters. Okay, that's a little bit of a weird effect, but I like it. Nidhogg, which is Boss of Fire. If a card or cards you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one Gene Raider monster or one Beast Warrior monster you control instead. You can only use this effect of Nidhogg once per turn. Nidhogg, Gene Raider Boss of Ice, is the water one. When your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, quick effect, you contribute one Gene Raider monster or one worm monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster or monsters. You can only use this effect of Nidhogg once per turn. Wow, okay. And then we have Hela, which is Boss of Doom in the dark. Quick effect, you contribute one Gene Raider monster or one zombie monster, then target one Gene Raider monster or zombie monster in your graveyard with a different name than the tributed monster had on the field. Special summon that monster in defense position. You can only use this effect once per turn. Pretty okay. They're a half decent archetype. Their spells and traps are going to make them either thumbs up or thumbs down, personally. Then we have their rank 9 XCs, which is Gene Raider Boss of Eternity. Requires 2 or plus level 9 monsters, so 2 or more level 9 monsters, and it is an Earth. You can only control one of these XCs per turn. You can only control one of this XCs. This card's original attack and defense become 1,000 times its number of materials. Spam out 5 level 9s. It's sitting on 5 grand. I don't like that idea. Well, I do and I don't. But I certainly don't want to face it. Quick effect, you can detach one material from this card. Each player draws one card. Then each player that drew attaches one card from their hand or field to this card. Oh wow. You can only use this effect once per turn. So you go make it with 2, detach one, puts it down to 1,000. Both players draw one. then attach one from each player's hand to it as a material, putting it automatically at 3000 attack. So each turn you get to use that effect, it's gaining 1000 attack points. Okay. Gene Raider Boss Stage is their field spell. Once per turn, if a card or cards is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except during the damage step, you can special summon one Gene Raider monster from your deck in defense position. If you special summon a Gene Raider monster or monsters during your opponent's turn except during the damage step, you can special summon as many Gene Raider tokens with the stats Fairy, Light, Level 4, Attack 1500, Defense 1500 as possible in attack position, but destroy them during the end phase even if this card leaves the field. You can only use this effect of Gene Raider Boss Stage once per turn. Okay. So basically you can summon out one Gene Raider, level 9, and then you end up with 4 tokens. I like it, but I don't like it. Gene Raider Boss Quest. Reveal one Gene Raider monster in your hand, and if you do, add up to 2 Gene Raider spell/traps with different names from each other from your deck to the hand except for itself, then place the revealed card on the bottom of your deck. You can only activate one Gene Raider Boss Quest per turn. Gene Raider Boss Loot. While you control a token, your opponent's monsters cannot target Gene Raider effect monsters for attacks. Okay. If a Gene Raider effect monster is destroyed by battle, your opponent draws one card. You can only use this effect of Gene Raider Boss Loot once per turn. I'm slowly not becoming a fan of this archetype. I'm not liking it. They have 3 traps as well. Okay. Gene Raider Boss Fight. Activate one Gene Raider field spell directly from deck to grave or grave. Then your opponent draws a card. Okay, so you're giving them advantage, but you're automatically getting your field spell out. Okay, that's not too bad. Gene Raider Boss Room. Continuous trap. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your Gene Raider card or effect, you can discard one card. Your opponent's activated effect becomes each player draws one card. Yeah, I'm really not liking this archetype. And their last one. Gene Raider Boss Bite. Tribute any number of Gene Raider monsters, then target one face-up Xyz monster you control. Attach that many Gene Raider monsters from your hand, field and or graveyard to it except the monsters tributed to activate this effect. You can only activate one Gene Raider Boss Bite per turn. Excuse me. Okay, that basically means that their Xyz monsters just a massive pain. So the ideal combo with this is having Boss Bite and Boss Fight set on your field. Your opponent activates an effect to add to hand. No, because you ideally need the Xyz on field already. Yeah, not too sure about that, saying that. Carrying on. Oh, we have one more Math Mech, which is Primath Mech. What was Math Mech Xyz we read out just now? Oh, okay, so they're both Primath Mechs, but this is another one. Why isn't it not up the top? Okay. So it requires 2+ level 4 monsters. You contribute one monster, then special summon one level 4 Math Mech monster from your hand or graveyard. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can detach 2 to 4 materials from this card and then activate the appropriate effect. If you detach 2, you can add one Math Mech card from deck to hand. Detach 3, add a level 4 monster from deck to hand. Detach 4, add a spell or trap from deck to hand. Okay, not too bad. You can only use each effect once per turn. That's fine. On to some of the reprints. Now, there are some in here that are beautiful. and there's some that possibly not. But we have Jinzo, Lone Fire Blossom, Debris Dragon, Brotherhood Fire Fist Dragon, Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms, which is the big one. That's the one that's just not long come back to 1. Got Lightning, Dragon Ruler of Drafts. That's the baby wind. That's the baby version of Tempest. Balancer Lord, World Legacy Guard Dragon Mardark, another level 9. True King of all Calamities, the rank 9. Dragon's Gunfire, Stamping Destruction, Super Rejuvenation is getting reprinted in this set, so that will help bring the cost down, the price of it down. Excuse me. Monster Gate, Dark World Dealings, so you can do more drawing. Rekindling, Dragon Ravine, Signet Backdoor, Appropriate, Heavy Slump, and Waken the Dragon. Oh, Heavy Slump. With the Gene Raiders making your opponent draw. That's a filthy play. But yeah, overall, that is the set list and a little bit of the effects of the new archetypes that are coming out in Mystic Fighters on the 22nd of November. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. I will post a link to this page in the description as well, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much.